Students, welcome to our history class. On Wednesday, we had started our third chapter of history, Effects of British Rule. In that, we have learned which were the various enemies of the British powers who came to India and they had wanted to rule the country of India. Among them, the most stronger were the Britishers. Now, before I continue with the lesson, let me make certain things clear to you. Now, when we hear about British rule in India, one thing that comes in our mind is all the negative effects of the British rule in India. We always realize, or we have always learned that Britishers, when they came to rule in India, they had troubled the country of India, or rather they spoiled or they exploited the Indians. But rather, if we think in a positive way, British also had some positive effects of India as well. Like for example, since the British rule came to India, we today are able to learn in English medium school. We can write, we can understand, we can read English. Not only that, but other services, for example, railways, aeroplanes, roads, etc. were wonderfully started by the British powers. So we cannot say that British rule in India had adverse negative effects on India, but at the same time, it did have some positive effects on the country of India. So let us now continue with our lesson. In the last video, we have learned that various civil services, military force, police and judicial system were started by the British power. Today we will learn in more detail about the civil services. Civil services became important part of British government. Now what do you mean by civil services? Civil services are the government officers who have certain powers in their hands or authority to take care or rule a particular country. That is called as civil services. Lord Cornwallis introduced bureaucracy. Bureaucracy means a system of government which is effective in ruling a particular country. That is called as bureaucracy. That means the Britishers, when they came to India, along with the civil services, the government officers, they started a system of government for the country of India that is called as bureaucracy. So he was the one, Lord Cornwallis, who started a system of government to rule India by the British government that is called as bureaucracy. For the administration, India was divided into districts. Now I will give you a simple example of your school. Now you are studying in standard 8th. Have you ever seen standard 8th, all the students sitting in one hall and one teacher coming and teaching you? It is just not possible because a single teacher cannot handle all 200 to 300 students. And therefore you are divided into various divisions, like you have A, B, C, etc. Similarly, the country of India was a large country and therefore it was difficult for a system of government to rule. And therefore India was divided into number of districts. District means lower portions, that is called as districts. District collector was the chief of the district administration. Now as we have the head of the country is president, prime minister, head of a state is chief minister, exactly is the district collector who is the head of a district. So one district, head of that is called as district collector. Now what was his function? To collect the revenue. Revenue means tax. Law and order, to maintain discipline. Law and order taken care by the Indian police or military, etc. The officers were appointed based on the exam conducted called as Indian Civil Services, ICS. I think all of you are aware of something called as ICS exams. These exams are conducted by the government. Even today in India, we follow the same system of the government, and the officers who are selected are called as the civil service officers. This is how it functions. So this is called as civil service examinations. Now maintain law and order was the responsibility of the military and police. Now all of us know the main duty of the police is to maintain law and order. Law and order means discipline, and again military or the squad or the army does the same responsibility of having or maintaining law and order in society. Now, military and police force are very important. You can imagine if there is no police or there is no military, can a country function? Obviously not. It is very important that a country should have military and the police in order to take care of law and order. Next is judicial system. Now, what is judicial system? All of us know it is a court. Okay, so every district had a civil and criminal code. That means all of us know we have two types of code, civil code and criminal code. Civil code is a code that solves the cases that deals with the civil problem. For example, robbery or any such divorce cases, etc. And criminal code is the code that solves the cases, like for example, murder, rape cases, etc. High Court was established to solve major dispute. Dispute means problem. This was a system which was started by the British government in India, and India today also follows the same system of government. As I said in the starting of the video, that India did have a positive influence from the British government. This was one of the examples that when the Britishers were ruling the country of India, India could grasp some new concepts which was really useful for the system and important for the functioning of the country of India after independence from the Britishers. Equality before law. Lord Macaulay established a committee, penal code established in India with code of equality before law. Now, all of us know India was a country, such a country earlier that did not follow the system of equality. That means in India there was a lot of inequality in terms of girl, boys, men, women, rich and poor. So when Lord Macaulay came to India, he established a committee that dealt with something called like equality before law. That means new laws became difficult to understand for common people, as people of India were indulged in something called as men as superior and female or women as inferior. This system of equality before law, which was started by Lord Macaulay, was not acceptable to the people of India. That means if they found something different, because they never ever had discussed or decided to ever have girls or boys, men and women equal in society. So with this equality before law, people of India were treated equal in terms of poor, rich, foreigner, Indian, etc. Economic policy of the British. England was a modern nation. Economic development in India had effects on India as well. Now, we have learned that England was a very rich country as well as modern nation, and Britishers belonged to the country of England. Now, whatever development took place in their country, they tried to implement everything in the country of India, which was not a positive point for the Indians, because economic development was still in British. Same time, India started facing economic exploitation. So, India was a poor country. At the same time, England was a modern and rich nation. So whatever economic development took place in England, they tried to implement all that in the country of India, which became a disaster for the Indian people, especially the farmers. Let us see how. Land revenue system. Before British rule, village economic system was sufficient. That means before Britishers came to India, India followed something called as economic system was sufficient. That means in the main occupation of India was agriculture. They were very happy or satisfied with whatever they cultivated. But to increase the revenue, the British made important changes in revenue system. Revenue means tax. Now the Britishers were ruling the country of India. They wanted more tax from the Indian people. Therefore, they increased the amount of revenue, amount of tax. Tax was calculated based on the area of land. That means if the farmer is having more amount of land, he has to pay more tax. If the farmer is having less amount of land, he has to pay less amount of tax. This was not a good idea as per the Indian farmers. Payment of tax in form of cash was compulsory. If the farmer has to pay the tax in form of cash means money. If the farmer was unable to pay the tax, his land was confiscated. Now what do you mean by confiscated? If a farmer is unable to pay the tax, then his land will be taken by the British government. That is called as confiscated. All the above changes exploited the Indian farmers to great extent. Obviously, the farmers were unable to pay the heavy taxes, and if they were unable to pay the taxes, they would have to sell their land to the British government. And that is how the Indian farmers were exploited due to changes in the land revenue policy. You can see over here the British government exploiting the peasants. Peasants are the farmers. Zamindars are the people who actually own land. They have their own land. Consequences of new land revenue system. Consequences mean effects on the Indian government people. Undesirable effects could be seen on the Indian farmers. To pay the taxes, the farmers had to sell the crops on whatever price they could. Now, it was very important for the farmers to pay the taxes. Now, to pay the taxes, they had to first get income from the crops. Now, sometimes they have to sell the crops at whatever price. If the crops were to sell at low prices, they would sell it just to get income, and they would be able to pay taxes to the British government. At certain times, the farmers had to mortgage their land to the money lenders. What is mortgage? Girvi rakhna. If the farmers were unable to pay the taxes to the British government, they would keep their land in the hands of the British government and get some money from the money lenders, like zamindar. So mortgage ka matlab hai girvi rakhna. Farmers became bankrupt. Obviously, when the farmers were unable to pay the taxes to the government, they had to take loans from the bank. If they were unable to pay the loan, they became bankrupt. Bankrupt ka matlab Qarz bazari. If the farmers couldn't pay the tax, they had to sell their land. Such an undesirable situation was there in the country of India the farmers faced. The farmers were exploited by the government, zamindars, moneylenders and merchants. So, the government exploited, the zamindar exploited the people, then the moneylenders and also the merchants. Merchants are the businessmen. All these people were involved in having an adverse or negative effect on the Indian farmers especially. Now, something called as commercialization of agriculture. Now, initially, Indian farmers cultivated food grains to fulfill the domestic needs as well as the needs of the village. Now, domestic needs means daily requirements, whatever food we eat every day, like rice, wheat, jawar, bajra, dal, etc. is called as domestic needs. So, that is called as food grains. Food grains means grains which we cultivate or which we eat as food, like rice, wheat, jawar, dal, etc. Those were called as the food grains. Earlier, the Indian farmers would cultivate food grains just for them to eat and also to sell in the villages. But the British government forced the farmers to cultivate cash crop. What are cash crops? Cash crop means when you sell these crops, we get cash out of it, we get money from it. These crops are grown only for the purpose of selling. That is called as cash crop. For example, cotton. Then next was indigo, third is tobacco, and fourth is tea. These were the crops which were grown by the British government, forced to Indian farmers to cultivate just to get money. Indigo is one type of a crop, a flower out of which we get color. It's a colored crop. These crops were sold by the British government at very high prices, and it was beneficial or profitable for the British government and loss for the Indian farmers, because by cultivating or by growing this type of crops, the Indian farmers did not get any income, but they just had to face the loss. The process of cultivation more of cash crops than food grains with the purpose of earning more profit is called as commercialization of agriculture. The meaning of the word commercialization is business for the purpose of earning money. So this type of crops, the farmers were forced by the British government just to get money, is called as commercialization of agriculture. Next is famine. Now, famine is a condition when there is no rainfall, the land becomes fallow and you're unable to grow any crop. That is called as fallow land. So, because of that, there is no food, people or children become like this. So, in 1860-1900, India faced great famine. That time, British were ruling and they did not take much efforts to overcome. No water supply was provided by the British government. So, famine is a situation when there is no rainfall, the land becomes fallow, the farmers cannot cultivate crops and the condition becomes miserable. Students, I hope you have understood the video. I request all of you to please watch the video and solve the assignment. We'll continue the next part in the next video. Thank you.